from Star Studios in Denison, Texas, this is Coffee with a Sign Painter, a weekly podcast hosted by sign painter Sean Starr that consists of interviews with other sign painters and some of the customers and characters Sean comes across while running his studio.
Hello, welcome back to Coffee with a Sign Painter. Today is kind of the second part of the interview I did with Tom Collins last week regarding the project in Limerick, Ireland that quite a few people are coming on board to be a part of. It's very exciting. So this time I am not only talking to Tom, but I'm talking with his wife and his son. So we'll go ahead and talk to them and kind of get a feel for some of the work that's being done behind the scenes and some of the craziness on Tom's part in trying to get this whole thing put together, which has been impressive to say the least. So here we go. This is my interview with the Collins family regarding the upcoming Elemental Arts Festival in Limerick, Ireland in September. So here we go.
Can I get you a coffee, Sean?
Yes, please. Cream and sugar.
Cream and sugar? Mm-hmm. How many sugars?
Well, I usually put 2 in there. It's probably not good for me, but...
You're a 2-sugar man, are you?
Yeah.
Are we talking white sugar, brown sugar, or sweetener?
Oh, I only like raw sugar, that brown stuff, so...
Well, we've got a coffee machine here where we're staying.
All right, awesome.
Yeah. You get it grinding there for you in the background so you can just hear it.
Okay, these are important things. I just heard a train pulling in earlier, so you'll get to hear the train, I think.
Yeah, that's great.
So, how are you able to work right now, or are you not?
Me? Is it my... Oh, yeah.
Well, are we just here for, the comedy aspect, or are we able to talk?
I see. Okay.
Well, we're just background actors. Is that what we're for?
Yeah, these are the extras.
If you could say things to torment him, that would be great.
Have we started yet, or are we just practicing?
That's always the good question, isn't it? So, yeah, seriously, how are you working? How are you doing sign work right now? Or are you not?
Well, I'm being very selective about what I'm able to do and what I'm saying yes to, and so I'm not doing a lot.
No,
not doing a lot. I did a bar job last week, and just a few things in the studio. I'm working on a lovely bar job for a legendary bar in Dublin called the Long Hall, which is an old Victorian bar and heritage bar in Dublin. And I'm mad about it. And,
so what does that mean exactly? Does that mean that's how old it is?
Yeah, it's that era. It's Victorian.
So it's the 19th century.
Yeah, Queen Victoria.
Isn't that old?
When Ireland was ruled by Queen Victoria, the British Empire. So we went. Yeah.
Everything in this country is fairly new, except for up near New York, and those areas are older, but everything else is not very old, so it's kind of fascinating to me that there's stuff still functioning that was built back then.
Where you are, the train station's 1800.
Yeah, that's true.
And much of Limerick is Georgian, so it's the next reign, isn't it, after Victoria?
Yeah.
There was Edwardian and there was George. And all these periods in time and architecture, have a certain, for sign work anyway, it relates to the heights and proportions are slightly bigger. And on this particular job, Nicky, myself, and Seth, we went to see a play in Dublin with Brendan Gleeson, the actor, and who else was in it?
His 2 sons.
Donald and Brian.
Who was the actor?
Brendan Gleeson,
Famous Irish actor.
Have you seen Braveheart?
Yes.
He's in Braveheart.
Literally, I have seen Braveheart over 100 times. How retarded is that?
Well, then you should be watching the credits. Brendan Gleeson is in it.
He's his kind of right hand.
Yeah.
You know.
And
he was. Yeah.
The big burly guy.
Yes. Donald is going to be in Star Wars.
And he's also an ex-machina.
That's correct. So we went to see a play. We brought Seth to his first theatre experience called The Walford Farce. And we
went for a drink afterwards to this bar I was telling Mickey about, and we got chatting with the owner, and he asked me did I have an interest in old bars. I said I do actually, and I told him what I did, and he said the very man, come with me. So I got a job out of it.
Awesome.
Always be closing.
Always be closing.
Always be closing.
ABC. Always be closing. So yeah, we got that job out of it. It took about a year of emails and seduction, but we got there in the end. And so that I'm doing that, and just really all the energy is going into
Elemental.
Not elemental. It's going into
the LSD comes out.
Yeah. Actually, Seth has a unique name for elemental.
Yeah, do you want to hear it?
Sure.
Tom is mental.
What is it?
Tom is mental.
Oh, okay. Well,
Part of elemental.
that
to
works
Tom.
too. You just move a few letters around, so.
So it's the Thomas Mental Festival. We're on the final, I suppose, furlong. We're another, I'd say, 3 or 4 weeks before we'll be fully back and home. But we're over the worst part. We're turning a corner. We feel we are anyway. But we're couch surfing for another, I'd say, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
In style, as you can see.
Well, yeah. I mean, those aren't bad digs you got there.
It's very glamorous.
It's great. Fantastic stuff, you know. How are you, Sean?
Good.
What's life with you?
That place looks a little bigger than our Airstream.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that their utility is bigger than what we're remodeled. At home. We've already worked it out. There's no place like home, is there?
No,
Even,
there isn't.
you know.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, and I was reading somewhere recently. I think it was George Bernard Shaw said that. It doesn't matter really how big or small your place is, as long as it's filled full of love.
There you go. I've always found, like, whenever Kaylee and I have traveled, that, like, I think the biggest thing that I enjoy when I do get home is my own pillow.
Yeah.
True that.
Yeah. Testify, Seth.
Testify.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
God, praise the pillow.
Praise the pillow.
Praise the pillow.
So what is the weather? What should we anticipate that time of year when we come out there? Does it start to get cold?
Layers.
Yeah.
Tell
Yeah.
Kaylee she has layers of clothes. It's cardigans, light jackets, a heavy jacket. Yeah, it's very unpredictable because September can be unseasonably beautiful and very hot.
We get Indian summers here sometimes in September, so we can often get fine weather in September.
But I'm layering it up.
Yeah.
People are still wearing boots, hats, and scarves here at the moment.
Yeah. Oh wow, really?
Really?
Yeah, look.
People coming from where your heat are going to find it really, really cold.
Yeah, we are currently in a blast furnace.
Really? What's the temperature like?
Let me pull it up right now. I'll tell you what we've got.
Don't.
Current temperature is 95, but the heat index feels like 100. It says.
So 40.
Yeah, it's like late 30s.
Oh yeah, you guys have
Yeah, we have
Celsius.
15 degrees here at the moment, which I would say is 50s.
Okay.
Imagine that.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, it's just cold, and
It sounds like San Francisco. When we lived there, it was every day, year round almost. There was layers.
Yeah.
okay. Well, that's the thing. I mean, in Norway, they have a saying that there's no such thing as bad weather, just the wrong clothes. So certainly in my profession, in our profession, I should say, it's all about just being prepared and having, a hoodie and getting on with it.
So, are you going to jump in and paint with us? Both of you, Seth and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll provide the critique and food.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you good at taking criticism, Sean?
I can tune it out. I'll take my iPod with me.
We're definitely in that one area.
Yeah, and I'll just nod a lot.
Yeah, that's what I do. I am not very artistic. I paint for 3 to 5-year-olds who find what I do very, very good. But Tom describes my artwork as very naive.
In the nicest possible way.
Yeah.
You guys have a harsh dynamic at home, man.
There's a whole art movement called naive art.
Well, I get a round of applause when I do it for my students. They all think I'm great.
Slow clap.
No, not my son. My paying customers think I'm fantastic, and they clap me a lot.
In fairness, Nicky's very, very creative. And I think that's one of the things about being in business that I'm looking forward to. That when we get some people to this exhibition and to see this screening of Sign Painter's movie, that they'll identify with the creative spirit of the loon balls that are attracted to this profession.
Yeah.
Most people in business are a little bit kind of like that. They kind of maybe
business in general, or your business?
I think in general. I mean, most people are a bit mad, that I can encounter in business.
I think the difference with sign painters is they just embraced it and said, "Well, this is just what I am. Deal with it."
You turn the dial up to 11.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
cool. We're definitely looking forward to it. Kaylee's been researching stuff online to try and figure out like what's there and what's around there, and getting pretty excited. I think it's going to be a pretty fantastic experience.
Going to have a great time because everybody in the whole wide world wants to be Irish.
Yeah.
And you're just going to love it when you get here because it's nothing like you've ever experienced. How people react, how they will talk to you, what they will say to you. It's really, and it's not until you travel outside of Ireland you realise how different you are. Because I worked in America for a summer when I was a student, and that was the very first time I ever realised I was a European.
Yeah.
I'm actually different because the American people called me, I was from Europe, and I went, oh my gosh, I am a little bit different.
Yeah.
So that's the really good thing about it, which is great.
Right.
Yeah, and people are so open to having tourists come and showing them around, and it's going to be really enjoy it, I think.
How far is the village that was in the movie Waking Ned Devine from where you are?
Gosh, does that even exist?
I don't think so, but it exists in my mind. So
I think it's either Galway or Mayo.
Yeah, it's a good bit up the country.
I think you'd find the Quiet Man's Village faster.
Yeah, John Wayne, the Quiet Man. Yeah. Well, I think it's the same part of the country. It's kind of.
I've never seen that film.
Yeah, it's.
You've never seen Waking Ned Devine?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, that's a hilarious movie.
What's his name? Rapture's Theory.
David Kelly.
Yeah.
It's about someone who's dead.
There's an old, and there's an old guy riding a motorcycle, buck naked in it. I mean, it's an amazing movie.
Okay. I do know the film you're talking about, but I don't think I've ever seen all of it. Yeah, but it's not like that, Sean.
No,
it's not
like that.
No, people aren't allowed to ride buck naked around. I do know our local, a long time ago in the area that I'm from, where I grew up, our parish priest was found in the local football pitch playing golf naked, apart from his golf shoes.
He had either drank a lot or went crazy, huh?
I think a little bit of both. Yeah. So, but I don't think normally people do it.
That's scandalous.
That's Ireland in the 80s.
Why don't you put down the brochure? Some people who do sports naked.
It's a good marketing slogan.
That's called mud wrestling.
Well, we were at a funeral last week, and one of the people at the funeral removal, which is the day before the funeral itself, people pay their respects at a funeral home, and as all the people were making their way through, someone stopped to say that it was Nicky's aunt actually, and they stopped to say that she looked the very same because she was laid out in a coffin but dead.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
You know, so you get some strange kind of, stuff like that going on here. But look, I mean, there's a lot of things to do. Certainly in Limerick City and nearby, it's not too far to go. You know, it's not a big journey to get up to Galway or to, you know, the Cliffs of Moher in County Clare. They're neighbouring counties, and south of Limerick is Cork and Kerry, which are stunning. And I think, you know, you could easily, you know, you could come back and forth, you know, a half dozen times and not see everything.
Yeah.
And to try and get it all in. And I know you mentioned about maybe trying to get to see Dublin. You know, I was up there twice last week in 1 week, and you'd be wrecked from it. You'd be really destroyed from all the driving and traveling. And even though it's not a million miles, it's doable. So, you know, we'll see how we're all doing. More we talk about it, I think we just want to explore Limerick and like wrap our brains around that, you know, completely, or as much as we can in 10 days or whatever it is. And I mean, do you feel like if it's going well, that you might, you know, stay a bit longer?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far.
I mean, like, how long is your passport good for?
Did you need a visa?
Huh?
Did you need a visa to come?
Don't ask me scary questions like that.
No, it's a holiday. It's a holiday.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't even know what that means, and now I'm panicking. I'm like, oh no, I needed a visa and I don't have one.
We clear immigration to go to the United States in Ireland. So we used to go before and have to do immigration when we landed in the United States, but now they let us do it here.
I see.
It's just a bunch of questions. Where are you going? What are you doing? They're just afraid that we're going to go to America and not come back.
Yeah.
They're trying to lock you down.
Yeah, they're trying to keep us out. That's all it is.
Yeah, I find the whole passport thing to be a little weird. It's like you have to like go through this rigmarole to get permission to go somewhere. It feels like you're a teenage kid or something. Like, you know, please, Dad, let me go.
Yeah. Well, you can't really crack any jokes with them. I mean, we were in New York the year that basically things kicked off in Afghanistan. The year before. And
No,
then
we were there in February.
We were there in February of that year, and then we were there the following year, and it had really changed, obviously. And everything around here as well. In when we go through the UK, it's very, very serious now with airport security. But you know, again, it's a very short flight to London. And it's one of the things that I was hoping people from the UK would check out. It's very cheap to fly into Shannon from you know, it's like under £100 sterling return. It's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, so and a few people are doing that.
Cool.
You know, so yeah, it's really, really good. You know, and then when the cat is sending some letters, you know, design, drawing. Some people are physically sending, you know, shipping stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a lot of fun, you know.
Exciting stuff.
You know.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and you know, it's one of those kind of weird things where it's almost like a conceptual exhibition where not everything is there when you get there. You know, there'll be lots of stuff on the walls for sure, but we're going to be making stuff throughout that time.
And you know, that's the coolest thing about this trade is, you know, in an afternoon, a half a dozen sign painters could like transform, you know, a whole space. So I mean, that'll be really cool, is to just be winging some of it.
Absolutely, and I mean, I suppose one of the hopes I have is that, you know, people will see just what, you know, we can do with our hands and our eyes, and you know, and you know, kind of produce something really good that you know that people can you know admire, and I mean, people coming in will have fun producing it, I hope. And you know, you know, we're getting a lot of support from the local businesses, the small businesses, and you know, some of the hotels, and I mentioned that as well. We're getting some great support there, you know, and so far so good. you know.
Well, the thing is, for something that started out as, would you please show the Sign Painters movie during the weekend of your exhibition, just as something to do, through time it's grown, and it's like so organic that it's now become this huge month-long, bigger than the Elemental Festival itself, where this just proves in the nutshell what you can do as a sign painter. You started with something small, and it's now grown already from everybody, getting on board and saying, yeah, this sounds like great, and showcasing what they can do. And it's a bit like Witness, isn't it? Building the barn.
Oh yeah, the Amish community.
Oh yeah. That's so cool. Is to just, from when Tom and I first started talking about it, and it's just like seeing all these like bricks adding to it, and it's now becoming this bigger thing than I think either of us figured it would be. And it's because Tom is the ambassador of Limerick and sign painting. So look at it go.
Unbelievable. It's so true. I mean, who would have thought that? I mean, it's just amazing. He's incredible. I mean, every day I wake up, I praise the Lord.
Oh, it's getting deep.
It's just, please stop.
Next stop, he's getting the key of the city.
Yeah, nice.
He's actually giving it to himself.
Hey, you know what? Get a big wooden key and we'll gold leaf it during Elemental.
That's what it's actually about. It's a surprise.
Oh, that's the surprise.
Yeah, we're gold leafing his key.
The key to psychiatric hospital, I think is what
I've got a couple of those. They only work here in the United States, but I got some.
Well, that's the thing. It's just there's various things going on over that month that we hope will break it up and will keep people's attention. So there's the obviously the opening, and that weekend really is only the Elemental Festival from the Thursday to the Sunday night. And on the Sunday night we'll have the Sign Painters movie screening, and we'll have you doing some Irish dancing at the end, Sean.
Oh, everybody's going to want to see that.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm a dainty man.
So we're and then it's kind of it's kind of a loose come and go type kind of thing where people are the Fab Lab have been very kindly generous with access to a lot more space than just a gallery space. So we have floors and floors of space upstairs. Cool. That we can work away on. And we lost our sponsor for the paneling material, unfortunately, last week, which was a little bit of a blow. But I'll get that back on track again this week. So
in between your holidays, your summer holidays, what you're taking with this?
He's on vacation, man. He doesn't even have to work right now. He can just hang out and smoke cigars and make a few phone calls for Elemental.
I'll smoke a cigar with you when you get here.
I don't smoke anymore.
We're going on Seth and I now will be going on a busman's holiday with Tom. I grew up, my father was a farmer, and we used to go on our family trips around Ireland. 3 of us in the back of the car, we smoked through the rain in the windows, and every couple of miles he would stop, jump out of the car and go over the fence looking at cattle.
To do what?
To look at cattle and see, how do they look? Looking at the hedges of the other farmer, looking what the other farmers' farms were like. Yeah. And now, all these years later, Seth and I go on holidays, and we're walking along the street, and we go, where's Tom? Where's Tom? And he's 100 yards behind us looking at his farm. How it's produced, brush strokes, and everything, and I'm just reliving my childhood. So we sometimes have to ban Tom from looking at signs when he goes away.
Hey man, I've got the same disease, so I can't really slam him for it.
Nor do you have any empathy for me at all. Bring on your wife, please.
If this is going to turn into the women grousing about the men, I don't know about this. Might have to back out right now.
Yeah, it's the whole Dr. Phil thing coming, I think.
Intervention.
Sign intervention.
I've run from them before. I'm not afraid.
We're going to Dublin for a couple of days. Just for a couple of days.
To get away.
Just get away.
Get away from people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're being hunted down.
Get away from Instagram and everything else. So that's it. Just a couple of days in Dublin. That's our family holiday this year.
You should actually take a bunch of pictures of those great signs in Dublin and post them on Instagram so I can see them.
Well, Peter has beaten me to it. Peter is sign artisans.
Yeah, he's got a great feed.
So he's definitely, and listen, like I he'll be announcing something very soon, and I'm leaving it to him because it's a really he's put a lot of work into it.
As part of Elemental.
And also, not only that, but he's unearthed it in his, he's kind of, he comes from a farm, his father's a farmer in Drogheda, north of Dublin, and he went through some old kind of sheds and outhouses and barn buildings last week, and found unbelievable stuff. He's been sending me pieces of stuff that I would make a grown man cry. Yeah. Stuff that he's taken down from actually not stuff he's taken down, stuff he's found in skips that builders had thrown into skips. Who didn't have any. A skip is like a skip.
It's in the back of a dump truck. It's a huge dump truck.
Yeah. So really, incredible shop fronts that are historically, very important, I think.
And he's just been stashing them over the years?
I mean, they've been broken and smashed into smithereens, and he'd salvage it out of some big long thing,
Okay.
I mean, he ruled himself and Owen Quigley ruled Kilkenny and that side of the country, and some of the most beautiful bars exist up around there. And to this day, they really maintain that very well. But in fairness to them, I know what they replaced them with would have been very high end as well.
Okay,
but it just shows you there's so much of this kind of stuff in abundance that we'd exported everywhere to every Irish bar around the world.
Yeah,
and now to the point we've run out almost. There's nothing left. But I know he's got a couple of really nice pieces, and I mean we'll have filled up the gallery in no time between your podcast, booth, and all the other bits and pieces that are going to be kind of floating in and out. And I hope miraculously they'll be appearing on the wall, a few days before the kick-off, and it'll all work out.
Oh yeah, it'll all come together and it'll be awesome. And I've told you before, but I'm just amazed at how much effort and passion you put into this. It's really awesome because that's what's fueling everything. Everybody's getting excited because you're excited.
Here's the real star of the show. I mean, let's be honest about it. It's the real star of the show. And
I'm the enabler.
She's the hostage.
Your codependency is oozing.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, this is to be fair. I mean, we all want to live in a nicer city than the city we're really living in right now, and I think it has potential to be a beautiful. It is a beautiful city. Just again, we've often talked about this. It's all the small little details that really make or break a place.
Yeah.
And it really needs some of that, and it needs a bunch of us in there kind of doing our thing. And I think we'll generate some good fun, and hopefully we'll attract people rather than over promote it. Because to be honest, we don't have a big microphone, drum, budget for all of that. We're only just getting small little bits of mentions here and there. We hit page 4 on the local paper.
Yeah, that was cool.
That's great. So it's not like we have CNN kicking down the door,
right.
anything like that, or the BBC.
Hey man, I am totally fine. Not going mainstream. Let's just keep this amongst ourselves.
Well, look, all I can say is that there are a lot of people on the street, aware of it, and from time to time we bump into people on the street and they'd ask us about it, and they'd see a tweet maybe you'd put out. I'm no good with Twitter, but if something comes in or out, usually someone else tells me, that you might have posted or someone else might have posted about it. which is good because that's what it's supposed to be about, isn't it? About it just generating its own momentum.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
You don't want to peak too soon.
You don't want to peak too soon.
That's true in many ways.
Small, and then go and, you want to first year be way, and the expectation then of next year.
Yeah.
So get them in.
And every year now, you'll have to outdo yourself the next year. So the pressure is on.
Did you hear that? Next year? Yeah. I can't believe Nick's saying this because, really, it's
well, you're not going to get elected mayor from just one event. You got to build this up.
True, you have to say, with my Elemental Festival, backlog, you see what an asset I am to the city.
Hashtag Elemental 2015. That's just one step in your journey.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm look, we'll see how it all goes. I mean, really, I'm slightly freaking out. It might look like I could be changing my name. I could be changing my name. I could be moving to your neck.
Welcome to Texas, Tom Collins.
All my exes live in Texas.
There you go. Well, I better get myself back working on this thing I'm working on.
Great stuff. Well, look, Sean, thanks for keep in touch, and everyone loves your artwork as well. I showed it to the guys; they love it.
Cool.
Awesome. Really delighted with it. I don't know if I told you that, but I kind of felt rather than surprise them with it. I said, "But I showed them some stuff," because you asked them as well in the interview, had I shown them anything? And I deliberately hadn't because I thought, But then I said, "I better show them something." They love it. They love it.
The cranberries. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so it's going down really well, so well done.
Very good, very good. I appreciate the feedback. Okay, well, it was nice to do a family episode.
Yeah.
Even the dog. What's the dog's name?
Maisie. She's a Terrier. She's from Scotland originally.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a really cute dog.
She is.
Thank you.
She's a brown. She's cheaper than a second child.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm so offended.
Okay, well, we will talk to you guys soon. Keep the email updates coming. Those are always exciting to get to see what the latest and greatest is. And we're down to maybe 5.5 weeks?
So,
wow, that's scary.
Yeah, isn't that stressful just thinking about that?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of other stress before that to get out of the way before we get to that stress. I know that's a pleasure. I mean, Nikki said to me recently, this is a month really of you kind of indulging. I'm indulging you for a month here.
Then it's over. Back to work.
Coffee with the Sign Painter is brought to you by the Big D Speed Shop in Dallas, Texas. You can find licensed apparel of Sean Starr's original designs at bigdspeedshop.com. The show is also brought to you by Full City Rooster Coffee Roasters, makers of the Sign Painter's Blend. Coffee that Sean drinks in the studio every day. Now shipping worldwide. FullCityRooster.com. Thanks for listening to Coffee with the Sign Painter, hosted by Sean Starr. You can find all sorts of info about the show and sign painting, including previous episodes, at our website, seanstarr.com.